Have you ever been really, really busy in the day, but then you're not sure what you got done at the end of the day? Or maybe you're so exhausted you just want to plop on the couch and turn on the tube. I'm going to give you three strategies so that you can not only get more out of your day, but then not feel like you're spent and you still have something to give to your family, your friends, yourself at the end of the day. I'm Leanne Zaharovich with Align Performance, and we help new leaders develop confidence and skills to thrive in their new role. And today's focus is about managing time, focus, and energy. The first strategy that I want to talk to you about is regarding your gut. You never thought it'd be, I'll bet you never thought you would be talking about your gut right now. But here's what we know. The gut and the brain communicate all the time through your vagus nerve. They're sending signals back and forth. And when your gut is not healthy, your brain is not optimized. Think about all the things that are going on in your brain that rely on a healthy system. You've got the prefrontal cortex that's creating clear decisions and it's doing some problem solving for us. Then we've got neurotransmitters that are affecting our motivation and our attention. The limbic system is controlling our emotions, calming that amygdala when we get nervous about things that seem to be a threat to us. The limbic system also helps us drive our motivation. The hippocampus is working on our memory. And when things don't get stored in short-term memory, they don't get stored in long-term memory, we can impact that by having a healthy system. Then we've got that reticular activating system, or the RAS, that helps us with focus and attention. And the last part of the brain I want to mention are the chemicals that are flowing through our brain and our body. The one we are very familiar with is cortisol, that stress hormone that can really have an impact on our decision making and our levels of comfort throughout the day, and our desire to collaborate with others can be impacted when we're under stress. That's why the first strategy I wanted to talk about today to have more productive days is to treat our gut well. Nobody likes being told what to do, so I won't tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I can speak from experience. When I'm on vacation or over Christmas break, I will not think about what I should or shouldn't be eating, and I might have a pizza an extra day or grab a sandwich on the run. And what I notice as at the end of that time, I feel really logy. My brain is not quite firing the way it should be, and I really notice it. And another thing that we know is baked goods and sugar can really have an impact on how happy our brain is. That's why it all starts with the gut. Strategy number 2, plan in recovery time. If we look at how athletes train and perform, there are always segments built into their workouts for recovery of breath, recovery of muscles. We are not designed to be performing. We humans do our best when we perform and we have a chance to recover, and we perform and have a chance to recover. In fact, research has shown that high performance kind of maxes out after 90 minutes. And that's that point where we need to take a walk, move our muscles, have a drink of water, walk around the building, take, a lap on the stairs, whatever it is, to help our brain and body recover so that we can then again perform at our peak. Planning in recovery time is truly important throughout your day. That's going to give you a little more energy at night to give to yourself and your loved ones. There's also been research done using MRS, magnetic resonance spectroscopy. This research has shown that intense cognitive work causes potential toxic byproducts to build up in our prefrontal cortex, which affects our decision-making and problem-solving. That's another important reason to build in recovery during your day. The third strategy I want to share with you today is to recognize and obliterate your time wasters. There's 2 categories of time wasters. The first one is those that are self-imposed, things we do to ourselves. One of our biggest time wasters is not getting enough sleep, not having a proper diet or drinking enough water, moving enough during the day. This is enough to lower our mental performance. The second self-imposed time waster is attempting too much. We don't want to let people down. So maybe we don't say no as often as we should. And maybe we don't tell people, yes, we can do it. And I can get it to you in a day or two instead of right at this moment. When we take on too much, we're increasing that cognitive workload and we're not serving ourselves to the best of our ability. The third self-imposed time waster is perfectionism. How many of you can relate to perfectionism? If we dive into where perfectionism comes from, it really comes from fear. Fear of not doing our best, fear of being ridiculed, fear of letting people down. If you suffer from perfectionism, I challenge you to think about what are the reasons behind that and how can you obliterate that time waster. The second category of time wasters are those that are imposed by others. The first time waster imposed by others that I want to touch on is lack of clarity. Maybe we're being delegated a task or assigned a project, or the client makes a request and the information is not quite as clear as we need it to be. So we end up doing work that we think is going to meet the needs, but then we find out that it needs to be tweaked or changed altogether. Having clarity up front is going to prevent us from doing rework. The second type of time waster that is imposed by others are distractions and interruptions. This could be anything from people coming over to your desk and asking you a question and needing a response right now, which takes your brain away from whatever you were working on. Now, when you answer that question, it's going to take you a few minutes to get back into that level of thinking that you had before the interruption. If you're not in an office, if you're working virtually, that is going to look like Slack. Slack dings, email buzzes, and we have these urgent requests for our attention. But guess what? They're not always important. Things that are urgent are seemingly important, but we need to pause and ask ourselves, is this something I really need to pay attention to right now? Or can it wait 3 or 13 or 23 minutes so that I can finish this task that I'm heavily involved in? Here's your summary. There are 3 strategies for getting more focus and more energy so that you can be more productive during your day. The first is having great gut health. That's going to give you best brain health so you can function at your highest abilities. The second is to plan recovery time. During the day, give yourself a mental break, move your muscles, take a walk, drink water, have healthy snacks on hand. And then on non-work hours, of course, we need to do things that we love. This is going to fill our cup and give us the energy we need to continue the next day. The third is to recognize and obliterate your time wasters. Are they imposed by yourself or are they imposed by others? What is your strategy for overcoming those time wasters so you can get more done? Those are the tips I have for you today. Join me in the next video.